Welcome back to my nail channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to fix imperfections in the lazy girl method. So if we take a look at the cuticle area of this nail, you can see that it's not completely flush with my cuticle area, and some of the other nails are a little bit bulky around the cuticle area. You do not want your cuticle area to look like either one of these. It can cause more lifting, and when your nails grow out, it's going to be super bulky and you're going to have a really bad ledge right there. So I'm going to show you some ways of how you can fix this. The method that I'm about to show you on how to fix these issues can go for any types of nail products and different applications. I'm just referring this to the lazy girl method because I've done this method multiple times, and about every single time I do this method I notice these same issues. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to fix them. The e-file I'm going to be using is my Bellavina portable e-file. I got this from Double Dip. As always, I'll link everything I'm using down below in the description. You can use a hand file, but you will not be able to file the underside of the nails, so I would recommend an e-file and something similar to this drill bit. This is a ceramic cuticle bit I got from Amazon. I absolutely love this thing. You can use other cuticle bits if you don't have this one or have other cuticle bits that you like. This is just one that I'm going to be using. A little side note, make sure to be using your dust protectors to prevent the dust from going into your handpiece and breaking it. I'm actually going to be using my e-file at a pretty low speed of 4,000 RPMs. The reason for this is I'm working around the skin area of my nail and I don't want to mess up and cut myself or anything, so I'm just going to use a low speed. I do want to try to blend in the cuticle area, so I'm going to start taking that cuticle drill bit and I'm going to start filing around my cuticle and sidewalls. During this step, you want to try to blend in the cuticle area of the nail enhancement with your natural nail. With the lazy girl method, I have noticed that sometimes the full cover nail tip will not meet the cuticle area of your nail very flush, and that will create a little ledge which will catch on things and make lifting, and lifting causes your nails not to last as long. So I would definitely recommend that you take a cuticle drill bit and your e-file and go ahead and file around the sidewall and cuticle areas of all of your nails after the polygel is cured into place. You can use a hand file for this step, but personally I find I can't get the cuticle to look exactly how I want with a hand file, and it takes a little bit longer than using an e-file, so this is just my personal preference, but know that you can use a hand file for this step. I do want to say, if you're doing this method over the lazy girl method nails, you need to be a little bit careful when doing this step. The reason for that is the first layer that is on your nail is the gel top coat, and then right underneath that you have the full cover nail tip. So again, the main purpose for doing this step is to just make sure that the nail tips are fully blended in with your natural nail to prevent lifting and also make your manicure last a little bit longer and look professional. I do think your application determines how much you need to do this step. I think if you're really bad at application, you may have to file quite a bit to get the look that you're going for, whereas I have seen people that have absolutely flawless application and they still go and file around the cuticle and sidewalls after their application just to make sure that everything is absolutely perfect. In my opinion, you can always improve from your work, and right now I'm really trying to focus on my application, specifically around the cuticle and sidewall areas of the nail. I feel like that's the first step in making your nails look as best as you can get them, just making sure that the cuticle and sidewall areas are super clean, and that will give you a more professional looking manicure. After all of the cuticle areas have been filed, I'm then going to take a stiff manicure brush and dust away all of the dust from the nails. This step is really important before you go back and add your gel top coat because yes, after you file around the cuticle areas, you will probably have to add another gel top coat just to make sure that the cuticle areas of the nails do match the rest of the nail. The second issue I want to talk about is having polygel underneath the nail. This can also happen with dual form method nails just because they're so similar, but basically you'll start to really notice this after a few days of having the nails, and this is because the nail starts to grow out a tiny bit and you start seeing the little gap in between your skin and the natural nail. You can try to prevent this by smoothing out the underside of the nail before curing, and I honestly have tried so many times. Every single time I do polygel nails with dual forms or the lazy girl method, I have this happen no matter what. So I'm going to show you a way that you can fix it. Again, this does involve that cuticle drill bit, and basically we're just going to be filing it off. Usually this can happen because you have too much polygel in the dual form or the full cover nail tip, but honestly there's really no way to avoid this because you do need to push your nail down into the polygel, which does cause it to run over your natural nail and start going onto the back of the nail. It can be a lot less apparent if you have longer nails, but if you have very short nails like I do, it's very easy for this to happen. It can also go down into the corners of the nail and make the nail shape look a little bit weird. So when doing this step, you want to be very careful, especially because you're using an e-file and it's very easy to overfile, and you want to be very careful because of your hyponychium. Your hyponychium is that little piece of skin underneath your natural nail that connects your nail to your skin. This part is very sensitive if you cut it or drill too much over it, so this is why you have to be very careful when doing this step. You also want to be cautious when doing this step because you can file off the natural nail as well. When I say file off the natural nail, I basically mean cut down the nail length. So if you don't want that to happen, you need to be very careful and only file off the product, not your natural nail. I don't know about you guys, but this is the worst thing about the lazy girl method nails is having polygel stuck underneath your nail, especially once it starts to grow out. You just notice everything a little bit more. This is the one thing that I absolutely hate about this method, but I do think this method overall is definitely worth it compared to other types of polygel nails, just for the fact that it's so much quicker to apply. So the other thing I want to talk about with this method is having nails that are way too thick. So this is basically the C curve of the nail, and as you can see I have the full cover nail tip and it's pretty curved like the C curve of the nail, and then I have a ton of polygel product, and to fix this you're basically just going to do this little motion right here, and that's going to be filing out your C curve and make the nail a little bit thinner. The reason you would need to fix this issue is you don't really want thick nails. Thick nails are really difficult to do things with and they don't look that great, so I would definitely recommend that you go ahead and try to do this step if you have an e-file, or definitely try to carve out the C curve of the nail before you cure under the UV LED lamp, just to make sure that your nails are not too thick. Honestly, quite a lot of people think that having thick nails make your nails last a little bit longer, especially if they're long, and thick nails does not equal strength. Basically, you just need to have a good apex of the nail and make sure that the product that you're using is strong enough to withstand the length of your nail, and that's basically it. You really don't need thick nails in order for them to last. I am still currently working on my techniques with the apex, making sure I have it in the right place and the right height and everything, so I don't want to make a video on that quite yet. I do really love jelly tips at the moment because you do not need to file out your own apex or create an apex. It's basically already there. All you have to do is just fill it in with a product. So after I've filed the cuticle areas underneath the nail and also the C-curve of the nail, I'm going to make sure that all of the dust is removed from the nails using that stiff manicure brush. After all of the dust is removed, I'm then going to take my Bella Vena No Wipe Gel Top Coat. This is my absolute favorite gel top coat, and I'm going to be re-top coating all of the nails. I am also going to be applying the gel top coat to the back side of the clear nails just because they are clear and I want to make sure that they stay that way. I did file underneath the nail, so I do want to make sure to go ahead and apply the gel top coat to the back of the nail again. I'm then going to cure the nails under my UV LED nail lamp for 1 minute. And of course, after doing your nails, you want to make sure to apply your cuticle oil. This is from Double Dip. It smells absolutely wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and apply this to all of the nails to rehydrate my skin. And that's basically it. That's how you fix all of the main issues of the lazy girl method nails. So make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!